She's the sidekick, wagging her tail. In the land of pixels, she'll never fail. Gamers unite under Christmas lights. In this corner of Twitch, everything's alright. 8 bits of cheer, Sophie's near. Building worlds with holiday gear. Streaming loud, let the joy ignite. Christmas coding with 8 bits.
Good morning, everyone. 8-Bits here with, I don't even know what day it is. Happy Monday, right? All right. Let's get this up here. So, today is the final day for my RPG project. I'm pretty excited with it. I think it will meet all sort of like the criteria, and it has been one long 3 months project, that is for sure. I'm pretty happy with the way it's been going. So I don't know who's all out there yet, but I hope your Monday morning is going well. All right. I don't think I have any real, like, other game news going on. I don't know. And I don't know if anybody else has any game news. Go ahead and say it. But I think what we're going to do, Brent, welcome in. How's your Monday? I'm pretty excited. Today is the last day for the RPG project. And yeah, I'm pretty excited with it. It's been a long time, right? I mean, I know it's only been like 3 months, but it feels like it's been a lot longer, spending a huge amount of time on this game. And good morning, Starfish. All right, let's get some music going. Starfish, I hope your morning is going well. We're pretty close. There's just a few minor things left. I still have 2 NPCs I gotta make, and we're gonna do that here in just a few moments. Brent, definitely have come a long way since you started doing Pixel Warrior and all the jams before that. I know. I can't even believe, like, when I go back and look at stuff and I'll be like, I don't even know how I did that. None of it made sense back then. Forever, even your phone needs coffee. Yeah, I could see that. 8 legs will fidget forever. Even your phone needs coffee. Oh, that's what I meant. Yes. Yeah. No, that's fine. We're gonna go ahead, roll in, and we'll just chat while I'm working on stuff. I'm not even quite awake yet, so you know, hey. Whoops. All right. So what we're doing is I'm currently cleaning up and making a simple I don't even know what to call it. Starting title screen. That's it. It's just gonna have the name of the game. And this is totally unique in the name. Not really, but you know, it's fine. The name of the game is just the RPG. That's it. I got creative, you know. Couldn't think of a name. I was just like, I don't know what to call this. And the whole time I was just calling it the RPG, and then I was like, you know what? That is the name. What we're doing is we are trying, not very successfully here, to clean up some of the stuff around here. This is so this screen goes above everything else, right? And then once you start, it's fine. It'll be fine. Starfish approved. Excellent. Your first GameMaker project ever was an action RPG. Didn't even have a name for it, but you made a little title screen like yours titled Legacy of Derp. Nice. Trisp, good morning. And how are you doing today? It is like, I don't even know. I couldn't come up with a name. I was just like, we're just gonna call it the RPG. And I was laughing about it last night because I would be like, oh, people are gonna be like, I'm gonna play the RPG. That's it. And this whole time, I've been working on everything, and I didn't even realize that I forgot to make a little bit of a title screen. So I was like, well, that's what we need to do. And we're doing that. And it's very, very simple. That's about it. Let's clean up some of this stuff here. I didn't like it. I put shadow on it like that, and then I was like, oh, I don't like it. That might be all right. There. That is the title screen. The RPG. It's creative, I know. Kind of a last minute thing, right? I was like, I don't even have a title screen. I need a title screen to it. And I was like, there we go. So that's it. The RPG. So now, when the game starts, and we'll start it here, it should be okay. Move this. The game, all right, so yesterday I put in a bunch of hours again, right, on this. I finished it up. I was able to get 2 more quests put in, so now the game has 3 quests. It has experience points. It has all kinds of stuff. I feel like it is a true tiny little RPG game, and I'm excited with it, right? Oh, my button didn't work. Can't have it just sit there, huh? When it's supposed to destroy it, but it did not. I think if we... Right now, it's just showing a sprite menu. So... Maybe I messed up down in here somewhere. So I'm just drawing a sprite here. I think maybe instead of drawing the sprite, maybe I should make it an object and have it like instance create so I can destroy it easier, because it doesn't really destroy. I was thinking it was going to get rid of the title screen object, but I don't think so. Let me try this. Let me take it out of here. And we'll put this right here. That might work, and not make it persistent. It doesn't need to be in different rooms. So we wait for OBS. OBS takes a whole bunch, bunch of stuff. Yeah, there it goes. All right, so we fixed it. There we go. And that is it. So once you hit start game on it, it goes right in, and then the player text starts. Okay, dog, welcome in, by the way. You usually have different rooms for splash and title screen. Yes, I do. Normally. I totally forgot about all that. And so, because I normally make like my starting menus out of sequences, make them that are interactive. They look cool, that kind of stuff. Totally forgot about it until about 40 minutes ago. I was like, uh-oh, I need something. I wasn't going to have like anything major anyways, but I was like, it just needs something. All right, we have a couple things that we need to make as final pieces, right? I need to make the barrels. In the basement, like this stuff, all into... I have all the tables and the stools into objects, but all this stuff here in the middle, we're going to make into objects real quick. Alright, where do I want to put this? Let me put it right here. Which ones am I using? I'm using most of these, so put it here for now. Resources, sprites. Yeah, we'll just put you in here. Turn that down. If the music is loud for anybody else, just let me know. I was messing with stuff. I shouldn't do that. All right. It is a bit loud? Okay. There. Well, the song's ending too. So we'll wait for a little bit into the new song. I turned it down just a little though. right, we're just gonna call it a crate pile. And we'll come in here. There. And let's make the middle center the little snap point thing. There's one. We'll do it again. Create pile 2. I'm so original with the names, I know. There we are. Crate pile 2. And then what? We need how about a couple of these? Crate 1. Sprite. Crate 1. I ran out of time yesterday. And I've been putting this off, right? So we're doing SPR create 2. There. Oh, we have a couple barrels. Let's just do an open barrel. Nothing fancy. Now let's make a couple objects, and then we'll just throw them in the room, and then we're switching over to making a couple characters. The last 2 characters that need to be put in the game. So what's I doing? Making objects. Props. Objects. Tavern. How many things did I make? Like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll just make 5 objects at once. I don't know why I did that. It'd be easier just to duplicate it before it gets the image put on it. So we're going to do a create. It doesn't really need a create, but we'll do a step and a draw. This is going to have draw self. And depth equals B box bottom. That's it. So then we'll copy it. 1. Oops. 2. 3. 4. 5. All right. Come back in here. Let's do crates. Well, pile 1. All right, so that one's done. And this one, create pile 2. Object, create pile 2. We'll just do the 2 regular crates. Create, just call it 01, right? And thank you for the follow. Okay. Next, we'll do the crate number 2, one that's open. Create, 02. Four. Oh, maybe I made too many. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 6. That's why. This is barrel. Do an object. Barrel. There. All right. So in here, we're going to clean this up. And put those in. I heard it. Thank you for the bits. Light Bear Software. Thank you for coming in as a first-time chatter and doing bits. Appreciate it. And how is your Monday going so far? Here we are. We're cleaning all this up here. Like these. You like to support game devs? Excellent. Obviously by your name. What type of do you work on games, or you make different software? What kind of stuff do you do? There. All right, now all this needs to come out too, and then we'll just put the stuff back in. These are all objects already, so we're going to get rid of this stuff. In your work game looks clean. Yes, we are a game company and you make games. Excellent. What type of games do you make? Like what engines and stuff are you using? I'm in GameMaker. And I stick, mine's mostly primarily like 2D style. All right, let's move up here. We'll put it here. And grab those new objects that we just made. We'll try to make it so that there is a little bit of room to walk around in, you know. 3D, mostly Unreal and Unity. All games must be uplifting. Not sure what that means. But Unity and Unreal, excellent choices. Excellent choices. I don't know either one of them, but excellent choice. All right, let's do like we want an open barrel here. Or I mean, an open crate there. We'll put a barrel in the corner. We'll do a couple single crates with it, like that. Put stuff there. Then we had some spare like tables in here, so we'll put one here. Another one maybe there. A couple small tables. Because you know this is the basement to the tavern, so you got to be able to have supplies, right? Like uplifting, no horror or wild game ideas, but fun. Excellent. Put this up here. 1, 2, and then we needed a few stools, right? So we'll just put like a bunch of stools extras like right here, because you got to have stuff, because occasionally, you know, the tavern gets a little rowdy and you got to replace things. And we just have to talk to Brent, who has the most rowdy tavern that I know in their game. Brent, I like talking about how your tavern is the most rowdy thing I know. It is. I love that game. It's awesome. Yeah, that's what you're going for. Yeah, I mean, like, you pulled it off really good. So we'll do a couple things like this, right? That's kind of okay. I mean, we have some stuff, like, I want couple of things near the rats. So we'll put one here. Like that. Because, you know, the rats get into everything. So they need to be near all the extra barrels. That kind of fun stuff. There. Just to double check here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's just enough rats in the cellar to be able to complete your quest. They do respawn though. Light Bear, good luck with my project. I appreciate it. Today is the final day on this little project. It was a 3-month RPG game, and it will be up on itch for it. All right, so now that we have that, we're going to drop in a few little collisions. That's a big collision. I said little collision. There we go. And just make it so you can't walk through the bottom of it. The B box will make it so that the player should be able to walk behind it. I say that. We'll do that. So they don't walk around those ones. Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting, right? So I've been doing 3-month projects, and this one is coming to an end today. And then I'll be starting something new, starting next week. Just doing a few minor touches here on the cellar of the tavern. Put that one there. And after this, like I said, we have like 2 NPCs we still have to make, and then we're done with it. Pretty close. Then we'll play through it, right? And identify any final little touches that need to be done, that we see if we can get it done. All right. Okay, one copy. Let's put it here. Let's put that there. And Sophie treat. Who came in? Pooch. There she is. Hey, Soph. Good morning. How you doing today? All right, let's make this one a little smaller. Actually, we'll put that one over there. Let's bring in... Oop, that's big. It does not need to be that big. It does not. We're going to do that. And we'll do another one right here. I don't think we need anybody to walk between that stuff. Doing good. How about myself? I am doing well. Today is the final day on this little 3-month project of an RPG game, right? You're hearing Christmas chiptunes. The music that is playing, I use Pretzel Rock, right? So it's a music channel that you can stream with. And you get to pick different categories. Well, I'm on chiptunes, and apparently it's playing a Christmas chiptune this morning. Yeah, 3 months. It went quick. It did. But now, starting next week, we'll be on a new project, brand new. So that'll be fun. That'll be all right. We make it like this. That'll make it so they don't really get to walk through there. Yeah. there. That should be good. Oh, we got a couple left, and we'll just call the basement done. Right? Nijax, welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday, just lurking while working. Excellent. Appreciate the lurk. Appreciate you coming in. There we are, and oh, we got a barrel. So we'll do that. Another little barrel up here. That'll be all right. There. So now the basement is done. And like I said, there is just enough. We have just the right amount of enemies in the basement to be able to complete the first quest. But they do respawn, right? So if you leave and you come back, it takes about 3 to 5 minutes, and they start they respawn in between that, right? Give it a range. All right, so now I think we're pretty good with stuff. How many of these? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's kind of it. So there's 10 enemies inside the cave, and you don't really need 10. You only need 5 for the quest, so plenty there. This was the title screen. I don't need the debug message on anymore. And we'll take it out of there. Just trying to identify. I had trouble first thing this morning getting it to work, but we solved it. All the dialogue stuff is complete. So we have, this is all the different things on one type of conversation with all the questing. So that's all doing pretty good. All right, so we're going to close. Oh, no, we're just going to open this. There. All right, like I said, we're going to make some NPCs here. I have 2 more that need to be made. Prompts, entities, actors, NPCs. Make another folder. NPC. And this one is let me check. They asked, sorry, so the next 2 are based off of somebody, as all these are. So let me see if they wanted to be walking around or hanging out. All right, one wants to be walking around, one wants to be at the pub table. I mean, good choices, right? We need 9 sprites. Even though they're just going to be sitting at a table, I want to make sure that they all have the full sprite spectrum for the different directions. That way, if I choose to come back to them or update it at some other time, I can either have them easily move or just sit there, right? Or make it so that every now and then they get up and move. But this one today's, this one that we're making right now is just going to hang out at the table. So we're going to call this SPR. Pop. And here, I like to mark which ones these are. So this is idle up. And we're just doing this quick. I have all the stuff in a sprite there, but now we're making new ones there. And if you didn't know, you can split images into frames inside GameMaker as well. Let me move that around a little bit here. That'll work. There. And then for idle, we're setting it to 2 because that is a pretty natural look for movement for breathing. With the 4 frames. All right, and down. Check something here. Okay. So we need down, which is this one. Convert to frames. We already have the parameters set, so we're fairly good on it. And this one will be our left and then our right. Go there. We'll convert to frames. Perfect. Oh, I think I forgot. This is 2. Also 2. And the next one is to the right. A lot of times, if they're walking or doing stuff, you don't have to have individual sprites for it. You can tell it by code to switch. Usually, I mean, like I've done, like you make it like, oh, the sprite is +1, so it goes to the right, or -1, which means it faces to the left. This time around, I chose to just make it sprites. Brewer, welcome in. How you doing this morning? Hopefully your Monday's going all right. We are on final day of the RPG. We're making 2 more NPCs, and that's kind of it. You slept. You're awake. You slept for about 12 hours. Nice. Sounded like you need it. I know you've been fighting a cold. Or flu or whatever it is. The headache was back again last night. Yeah. All right, so now we're doing the walks. Sometimes I get like headaches when the pressure drops or goes up too much. There's like a zone where I'm like, I'm fine. But if it drops below like a certain number, like barometric pressure stuff, I tend to get a headache at that point. All right, for this, I think 4 was pretty good for this. So that's where we're going to leave it for walking. This is down. There. And that's perfect, right? So we just finished making some of the barrels and crates and tables that are in the cellar of the tavern into objects so that it interacts with the player a little better. But that is completed. Yesterday, I managed to make it so that there is now 3 quests, right? So you have rats, the lizard folk, and then you have the skeletons. But you have to go in sequence, right? So you have to do the rat one. Then it'll be like, oh, all right, you've completed the rats. I can give you a little more heavy, advanced quest. And then you get the like lizard one, and then you work your way up to the skeleton one. I also made it so there is skill points. So for like, well, not really, not skill points, experience. And when you level up, you really just go up in health right now. Health, and I think you increase your damage one. I figured just for a 3-month RPG challenge, that sufficed, right? Now, the object is, starting next week, we're going to do a 3-month top-down shooter. I think that'll be fun to break things up for a little bit. Then we're going to do a 6-month block of time where I think we're going to revisit the RPG and spend 6 months on it. And kind of see what we can come up with in that amount of time, right? Yeah, I figured, I just put so much time into this. I was like, oh, I'm going to take a little break. And we'll do it, that'll be a top-down shooter. And then we'll come back to us, really we'll take this, we'll make a version 2, which will be picking up from where this one left off, and increasing it, spending 6 months on it, fine-tuning some of the stuff that is not quite right in this one. Mostly some of the name tags, that kind of stuff. And then we'll move over, start adding in actual skill points, a talent tree, some new zones, new enemies, questing. And I want to make it so that there's other NPCs with different shops, right? So you just can't go to the barkeep to pick up everything. You can pick up all the food and that kind of stuff, but like potions and stuff, you need to go to like the potion dealer. All right, so this one is SVR portrait. You need to open this one again, hit edit. There we are. All right, so those are all done. Now we need to edit this one. This is down. And for these, we just called it up, down, left, and right. And like I said, I'm leaving all this in here. The character's not moving, right? So we don't have to worry about some of that. But I want it there so that in the future, if I want to do something, it'll be an easy change versus redesigning the whole NPC. All right, I see the notification. Ads are going to go off here in about a minute. When they do, I'm going to take a quick beer right back. I do need some more coffee. So we need to get that. All right. Azrin wanted to sit at a table. So I'm going to do this. Whoops. There we are. All right. So we have almost everybody in here. We're going to have one more NPC that is going to be up and just walking around. We'll start that one right after break here. But like I said, ads are going to go off. When they do, I'm going to take a short be right back. It's about a 3-minute for ad run. And then we'll get back to doing some of the NPCs. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start that break, and I will see everybody in a few moments. We're back. So now we need who do we want? Starfish. Sophie treat. There you go. Sit. Sophie loves her treats. By the way, you can now... So Sophie's in the game, right? You can now go up to her and pet her. And it has a little heart that comes, like, pops up over the dog. Oh, all right. I don't want to forget. So we need to go to here and look at the dog for a minute, because where the little heart comes up, press E to here. We're going to lower this. It doesn't need to be -70 off of it. That's pretty high. We're going to lower it by 20. And then, here, let's run it real fast. Best upgrade 1010, yes. We're going to go check it real quick as long as OBS here decides to do its thing. This is now the title screen. The game is called The RPG. I know, totally original, right? But that's it. There we go. We have Azura now in the game. Your first initial conversation where he talks to you. There. All right. That still is up high. That needs to be down lower. But when you pet, it says, "Good Sophie, here's a treat," and you see a little heart. Right? I mean, I think it's okay still, because this, I'm not worrying about it this time, but I wanted, like, this should have a smaller padding to it. It's fine. I mean, it says it up here. It's above it. Maybe it's all right. And this is called, the tavern is called the Broken Mug. So there is a little picture of the broken mug now. I don't know why. Like, okay. So at SEA events, which is a medieval historical society, right? Events. Broken mug means your mug is empty and you need a refill. That's where the idea for the broken mug comes from. Like, if I ever owned an Irish pub or something, I would call it probably the Broken Mug. It's just a fun name, right? All right, let's work on the last NPC. Do I want to run a pub? Oh, I think it'd be so much fun. I've always wanted to, always. I've worked in plenty of restaurants and bars and like other things, like, right? So a pub would be fun. Yeah, you name yours the IV. That's a good one too. Slow drip of tequila. Yeah, having like an Irish pub would be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I like combining ideas. I always thought it would be cool to have like an Irish pub and then next to it have a campground, right? So like an RV, off-road vehicle, tents, cabin, that kind of stuff. So then you're right next to the pub, and you could come and visit. I thought that would be cool. Yeah, bonfire parties, all of it, right? You got to have it. I like combining things because I like so many different ideas, but a pub has always been there, always. I've done a couple different businesses in the past. A pub has not been one yet, so it's still on my list. All right, let's make the final NPC. We need 9 sprites. We'll come up to the first one. Who was I using for this one? I was thinking the green hair. Because why not? Yeah, I don't know. I've had a number of businesses, right? And I keep checking off different ones that I've, want to do. And having an Irish pub would be great. Absolutely great. And I think with the Irish pub, I wanted to be a little bit older with it. Not like I was young, a little bit younger when I was doing all these other businesses. I think having a pub, being a little bit older with, is just a little better idea. Some of the best parties you've been to were out in the middle of nowhere where the huge bonfires and bands playing and lots of beverages. People had tents and campers, do-it-yourself festivals. Exactly. Yeah. I like those ones. I've been to lots of those. Those are fun. And because I've moved around, like some places do really well with that stuff and some don't. You're like, all right, whatever. Idle, let's do up. So now switch that. There we are. Be order and just hire people to run it. Yeah, I mean, like I want to be able to be there, but the dated, I mean, like hire the people to do the actual work of it. Yes. Yeah, I manage it, stock it, hire the barkeeps, books and servers. Yeah, exactly. All that stuff, right? Yeah. I always sit and think about that stuff. It's one of that and like outer space are the two favorite things that I like to sit and think about when I'm having a cigar and a drink at the end of the day or something up on the balcony. I'm like, oh, that'd be so much fun. All right, so we completed that one. Love you some space. Yeah, I think about it all the time because astronomy is like in Cosmos has always been a study of mine, right? Yeah. And I think it's because like I like space. My dad liked marine, so he liked underwater stuff. And it sort of complemented, right? Both are not explored. I mean, underwater, like, we only have, what, 8%? Maybe 10% of the ocean floor and under oceans explored. And you gotta be when you're like, oh, you know, why? All of a sudden we stopped exploring stuff, and they're like, why? It makes it, you know, but whatever. No, this is 2. There we go. Oh, I should double check that one. 2. Okay. 2. On the left, we'll set this now. UFOs, you prefer that? I live in the perfect place for that in New Mexico. There's UFOs, all kinds of fun stuff that you get to think about. Roswell is a couple hours away. It's maybe like about a 3-hour drive. We have yet to be to it. We haven't gone. We need to. I think it would be fun to go during, like, the alien festival, UFO festival. I think that'd be fun. All right. Sarah. Idle to the right. Yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff here. But yeah, I love science and learning, and identifying new things that, you know, you don't really hear much about. Like, you hear stuff about space, but, like, I don't know. There's been a drop in it. And you definitely do not hear stuff about, like, underwater. I mean, the idea for having, and there's a couple of them out there, but, like, you just don't hear about it. Like, underwater facilities, like domes and that kind of stuff, little farms underwater. See, we should be, like, having more of that stuff, but... Alright, let's find my walk up. Yeah, that's good. That's still a good frame rate for
Now we got a big problem, make a friend can't even fix. Back like in handcuffs, somebody gotta stand up while they sit. Yeah.
All right, switch that song. So now we need walk down. There, and then we have left, right, and then the portrait, and then we just have to make the object for it, and we should be fine. Walk left. There we are. And that's 4. Copy that. This is to the right. There we have it. So the last frame, or the last sprite, is a portrait, right? And what that is used for is when the NPC has a dialogue with you as a player. When it's the players, like when you're chatting, your picture shows up, and when it's the NPCs, the portrait one of the NPC shows there. That way you can identify who the conversation is easier. Oops. So we're reusing one of the characters. And then we have that arrow down. All right. Seraphia, good morning. We are actually, we're just finishing your character for the game. Welcome in. You're like, hey, I know that name. Yep, Yes, it would be you. I give you. You have green hair though. I mean, it's okay. That's all. All right, so we'll put you wandering around inside the pub, and I think we'll put you also wandering around outside as well. There. So now we're going to go ahead and run the game, and we're gonna check a couple things out, right? All right. So the game, as soon as OBS decides to see this thing, Pub Buddies, right? The game is just called The RPG, because why not, right? So this is what you see when you start the game. And then you can hit start. And your character says, wow, it's been so long since I've been back in town. I should probably grab some grub and see what work there is to do. Well, we got everyone walking around. We got Zora Soulflower up there, Captain O, Seraphia, Lazy Weekend, Azarin, Arlok, Oakenheart, Starfish Nebula, and Panooch as patrons to the bar. Brewer apparently has turned around. He's done with people for the day. But Brewer, the barkeep. Right? And that is where all your conversations really happen. And you can see, this is what I was talking about for the portrait. Depending who it is that is talking, it will switch the portrait. And now you have 3 types of quests. Brewer says no more booze. I know, that's right. He's moved on to coffee. All right, this is a shop. Everything is stackable. You can buy items. I should probably put what they do on it. Speaking of coffee, I got some right here. I just filled up a little bit ago on ad break. If you don't have coffee, Seraphia, you need to go get some. It's heating up. Excellent. I have yet to try it, but Jeepin for Christmas got me a siphon coffee maker. And David Does Dev, welcome in. Coffee is life. You are in the right place. But yeah, she got me a siphon coffee maker. And I'm just waiting for the fluid to be able to you use in it to heat it up to arrive. And then we'll be able to go for it. Does everyone know what a siphon coffee maker looks like? I mean, there's a couple of different ones, but if you pull them up and we look, right, real quick, it looks like that. Like this. And it's a process, right? You're supposed to slow down and enjoy the process. You want a siphon teapot? Nice. Yeah. But yeah, this is where like the fluid goes for heating it. When you fill the canister with water, it goes down. So it's got a little lid on the, like a cap on the flame thing. So when this is down, it holds it open. When the water comes out and fills over here where the coffee grounds are, and there's a little filter here, it goes back up like this, right? And then it closes and puts out the flame. But then after so long, it all of a sudden pulls all the water back in. So it pulls the coffee back into here, and then it has a little coffee spout, and you can fill your cup right here. It's so cool. I am a big coffee person, and I like different methods of cooking coffee. right? So when you're brewing the coffee, I like different ways. There is, like, I have a French press, I have a percolator, I have a regular drip one. Yeah, I like coffee, and I like the process to stuff. The magnetic marble ones, the teapot ones, right? Where you put the what is that called? Teapot magnetic valve. Like this, right? So maybe not this extravagant. This is AliExpress apparently, but you know, kind of like this, right? So you have a magnetic ball in the middle, and this on the handle has magnetic. So when you touch it, it immediately pulls the ball over and allows the water or the tea to come out, right? Yeah, this is pretty nice. There's a lot of neat ones. But they make full, like, real extravagant looking ones. But yeah. Yeah, here's one that it's showing it, right? So you push the teapot in, and the magnet right here on the top of the handle connects to the magnet ball that is inside the drop. And so you let it infuse, whatever, seep up here, and then it drains down here, and there's a filter here. But they make all kinds of cool ones. This one's kind of neat. Same sort of thing. It's a magnetic system, but holds it up here, drops it down below. You have a small, simple coffee drip maker. Not a problem. I have a drip maker one. That's what I normally do every day, because it's quick, right? But when you get a chance, I do like the process for stuff. So that siphon coffee maker needs to be done. Welcome in, New Jank. New Jank, thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. How have you been? How's it? It's going well. For those that don't know me, my name is 8BitsaByte, and I'm currently on my last day of the RPG project. This was a 3-month RPG project, which is basically an MVP, minimum viable product, right? It has like 3 different quests, a couple different enemies, 3 biomes, a bunch of NPCs wandering around, and it's good stuff, right? So today's the last day for it. Then we'll update it on the itch page, and it will be good to go. So for right now, actually speaking of which, let me adjust that itch page real fast. This is the itch page to this game, right? The game is simply called The RPG because it's the RPG. But this is it, right? Your little adventure back in town. You can go and come out and explore. Like I said, you have 3 different quests you can do. Yes, Sophie is the dog, and you can pet the dog. That was one of the biggest requirements. People were like, I want to pet the dog. So that happened. Yes. Yes, you are now an NPC. See, you're right there. Yep. So, New Jank, how have you been? Go back into the town. Brewer's still facing the opposite direction for some reason. But, you know, hey. Right, so let's look at our quest system. Not too shabby. Nice. So it has 3 different quests that you can pick up. The problem is you have to go in order, right? If you try to like skip out, like, oh, I don't want to do the rats, I want to go do the lizard. It looks like you haven't completed the first quest. Work on that before a tougher, seeking a tougher job, right? Understood. Great. I have a few jobs for you, and then you get to go back, right? Okay, I want the rats. So it scales, right? So each quest is a little bit harder than the previous one, and you can work on it as you go up. The one thing that I am having a little bit of trouble with, and it's not going to get fixed, is when it is in browser play, the text is not quite as crisp as I want it. It's with itch in the browser that I'm having the problems. Like I said, it's not going to get fixed for this because today's the final day on it. It's as good as it's going to be, but you also have the ability to download the game. And that's where everything looks much cleaner. And I'm sure, I don't know, some setting, something, you know. All right, what are we at? We're going to accept a quest. Then we go to the cellar. All right, so the combat is turn-based. You have your light attack. You have a heavy attack. The blue bar is your stamina energy for it, right? So these use it up. See how it went down? But now you're like, oh, I want to do another heavy attack, but I may not have the energy to do it, right? The green is a shield, and it will briefly show up and replenish some of your stamina. And then you can be able to complete, right? So then you can go down, continue, and you're like, oh, I have new stamina now because you were out of combat. There. Oh, and you're like, oh, my health is down a little bit. You have food that you can use, and it will just replenish your health. They all do the same thing. They just replenish your health, which you can buy in the shop at the barkeep, right? Is there some? Oh, they're not showing up. There's something there. We'll fix that. So the rats, nice and easy, you know, not incredibly challenged unless they team up on you, and then you get a whole bunch of them at like near you at once. I think I know why some of those aren't showing. I think. We're going to check them here in a minute. A lot of that stuff's not showing. All right, let's come up here. Let's go back to the tavern for a minute. So one of the things is you can also hit J or click down here for your journal. Once you have the quest, you're able to see your progress in it, right? So I have 5 out of the 10 tails. Kill 10 rats in the tavern, cellar. Your reward is going to be 25 gold. And I have 1 apple left. All right. I want to look at something because I think I goofed a little bit. And New Jank, it's impressive for 3 months. I think so. I mean, like, I think I did pretty good. I am currently going to be almost 300 hours, roughly. 12 days, 17 hours, whatever that is, almost 300 hours in 3 months on this. All right, well, these are all here, but I think what I goofed, we're going to look at it. Prompts, objects, tavern. They're all supposed to be visible, and they say draw self. Well, you got to run, Starfish. I appreciate you for being here for a little bit. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And if you're around later, when Jeepin does her cooking stream at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, I will see you then. I will. All right. This, I was trying to adjust this. My rectangle there. Sprite height. False. Jumbo. I don't think it needs to be this, right? Maybe it just needs to be a little bit lower, and we'll bring it down. But I think it's fine. I don't want to mess with the dog stuff. I don't know why this stuff wasn't showing. Let's stop. Let's do a save. I'm going to commit. We're going to close the project, restart it, because I've been doing a bunch of stuff this morning. Objects. NPCs. All right. Let me close the project now. And then we're going to update it. And sometimes it just needs stopped and turned back on. That is all. All right, so they're in here. They should be good. Where do I have them? They're all in here, right? Let's run it and see if I actually have a little issue there or not. And we'll wait for OBS to see the game. It always takes it a few. And, yeah. Oh, New Jank, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. And thank you for the raid. You got to grab some grub. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, the game is just called the RPG. Oh, let's make it bigger. Start. There we are. No, I do have a problem. All right. What could be causing that? They're up here. Interesting problem. All these objects should be set to visible. Right? They should. So, let me look through this. Props, object, tavern. Says visible on the side. We look at it. The only thing I have is depth equals B-box bottom and draw self. It has the sprite attached to it. Well, some of them are showing and some don't. Some show and others don't. Why? Well, the sprites are all okay. Let's maybe I can find something on Google real quick. GameMaker. There's not a whole lot of forum stuff. All right, let's think about this. I have the sprites. I have the objects. This one we don't need. The object is no different than this. Oh, wait. I think I know why. I think I know why. When I made these, I just said B-box bottom, and I need it to be negative B-box bottom. And maybe that will offset it. All right, let's start it and try it again. RPG. Oh yeah, and if you wait and idle for like 2 to 3 minutes, your character like does a little stretch again. Bro, your barkeep, for whatever reason, is facing the wrong way today. That was it. All right, these are all here now. No, stay away. Run away. Ah. Let me delete and replace. That was it. One little mishap. When I made those objects, I forgot to make it negative B-box bottom for the depth and just called it B-box. So it was up to like above and you couldn't see it. Give me a second. Let me move some stuff around here. For those that are wondering, yeah, I do have all the inside stuff in one giant room. I wanted to try it and see how this was going to work. It probably won't stay that way, but it might. Like interior for the buildings, maybe. I think this for the cave system will come out, and that'll be its own thing. All right, so there is Brewer. We're gonna delete, and we're gonna put you back. Maybe it'll fix it. All right, let's go ahead and run it again. Well, sort of. You're facing sideways now. Jeepin, good morning. We are just about done with everything, right? The game has multiple NPCs walking around. I finished up making one for Azarin and Seraphia there this morning. We have inside NPCs. We have some outside wandering around. You're able to come up, see Sophie, and give her a pet. And we fixed the basement. So I think we're pretty good. Right? It's got 3 different quests, 3 different biomes, 3 different quest systems. Right? When you approach and you get near the marsh, it gets a little darker. New music too. See, lighthearted music. I'm someplace that's a little more dangerous, right? I think we're gonna wander around and fight a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna show a lizard. There they are. This is the lizard folk. We're going to let them hurt us a little more. They do more damage, right? So you got to be careful. We're going to die, and I'll show everybody what happens. Oh, so close. I can see just a slither of health left. All right, one more attack. There, you fall down and you come back and you have a little text thing that pops down the bottom, says, man, what a crazy dream I just had. Glad that didn't really happen. And then you're good, right? But I like it. For a little, 3-month game, I think this turned out really well. I think it was a success as far as meeting criteria of the an RPG, right? Thanks. I appreciate it. And Homeless, yes, you are the 27th. You are not first again. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, literally, it's almost 300 hours worth of work into this. So, what did it say? I've worked on this for 12 days, 17 hours. What's 12 times 24? That's 288 plus, we'll say 17. That's 305 hours on the game. I have 3 different options down here. So you have settings, which you can do full screen stuff now, right? You have a volume slider. You have the ability to quit the game, and you can close the setting menu. You have inventory, which you can open here, or you just hit I, and it will open. And journal, also J, will show you any active quests. This isn't quite looking like an active button, but it is a button. Active or done, right? So anything you have will show up there. It'll give you a description of your quest, the requirements, what you need to do, and the progress that you're in so far on it. Not all the NPCs have conversations. Only a couple of them do. Yeah. Just a couple of them. There. When you have a conversation or when they have something to talk about, this little chat bubble pops up. But all the others that don't have it. A couple things that I did add in is if you are like, oh, I want to go over to the next section, right? So there's a couple areas that could take you to the next area, but when you get too close, you'll have a little message, and it says, looks like the area is blocked. You can't get access. Why? Because you can't get access. That's why. And to show what is there, if you go to the world map, this is kind of it, right? So this is the grassland. That's where the town is. This is the marsh or upper marsh. So marsh, and then this is just the deep marsh. Swamp. Nothing's in it yet, but you can sort of see it, right? So it's blocked by a couple fallen trees. This area up here is blocked, another fallen tree. And this whole empty area up here is meant to be the ancient forest, which will be, all this will be advanced into the next area, like next revisit of the game. And then there is a little road right here that goes out, but it'll tell you, oh, it's blocked too, and you can't go through it. Same thing. Originally, I wanted to try to do this whole map. Whole thing. Wasn't going to happen. That was way too ambitious for the 3-month. There was no way I could get all this done. So I was only able to get these 2, and I call it 3 biomes because this is the grasslands, this is the marsh, and then the cave is the 3rd biome. So there is 1 cave you can get into. And for those that have played my other games, if you've played the tower defense one, the favorite thing out of the tower defense one was the sheep. So the sheep is now in here. Whatever your time expectations are, you have to multiply it by like 5. Yes. I totally was like, there's no way. There's none. Yeah, so I made the decision to cut it in half, and you can't cross the bridge because it's got a whole bunch of holes in it. And you can't cross through here because some trees have fallen. All the normal stuff, right? most of the enemies are kind of hidden. You're not going to see them until you get almost near them. That's why you don't see them on here. You just see these little question marks. These are spawners. So when you kill the enemy, they will respawn after about 3 to 5 minutes. So if he's in the game, yeah. Linnera Prime, welcome in. Great job on the game. Thanks. I appreciate it. How have you been? I mean, like, for a 3-month game, this was a huge challenge to try to do an RPG game. The idea is, since today's the final day for it, starting next week, we're going to be starting a brand new 3-month project. We're going to do a top-down shooter. Then, after that, we'll come back to the RPG game and start working on a version 2, right? That will have the new areas in it, more quests, a little more cleanup on some of the objects, the chat system, more buildings here, more interiors for it. Oh, and I wasn't paying attention. Ads just went off. Y'all are stuck in it. I do need to take a B rate back on this. I have to uncover Arwen. So hang tight, and I will be back in just a few moments. All right. I'm back. And I joined you on the dungeon there. That was a Sophie treat and a two, yeah, all at the same time. Here she is. Oh, your camera fell down again. So. Right? There you are. So thank you, Lineara, for the Sophie treat. She appreciates it. She does. All right, so we're trying to look here real quick on where some of this is. I think it's fine. The character doesn't really move very much. I don't feel like... Well, unless I can find it real fast. This might be it. Face the conversation. So when you... The NPC is supposed to face the person. Doesn't quite work. Yeah. Oh, well. Anyways, like I said, this is kind of where everything is. And if you have been playing any of the other games, so let me pull it up. Teapots. You missed it, Jeebin. We had a conversation about coffee, siphon makers, magnetic teapots, all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, the magnetic teapot. Yeah, we're gonna go back to that. Magnetic teapot. Sophie. Yeah. All right. So magnetic teapot. Sophie. What are we doing? Well, let me see if somebody there. People are just walking past. There is no huff and puff and right. Thanks. All right. So magnetic teapot. The idea behind it is this, right? Like this, right? You have the tea up top where you can put stuff in it, and so it helps seep it, right? Then you push your teapot in, and it has a little magnet on the end of the handle up here that pulls this like metal ball, and it'll pull it aside and allow your tea to pour. Yeah, here's one. See, like you put your tea leaf up top, and you pour the tea into it, like the hot water, let it seep, and then you use the magnetic handle from your teacup, and that's kind of cool, right? Yeah, so you have this top part, you pour the hot water in with the tea leaves, then you have your teapot, and then you pour it into your cups. It's neat. So we were talking about that because I was on the topic of the siphon coffee maker. So we started talking about all this stuff. Anyways, this is the main itch page for me. When you come down to the bottom, you can see all the different games that I have worked on in just under 2 months of time, right? I started my whole game dev journey in February, just about 2 years ago. Right? So, we're now up to here, and this will be it. At the end of stream today, we'll update this. It will have the new game on it, and you'll be able to. I don't know. What do we think? What do we want it to leave it as a browser game with the ability to download, or just a download? The only problem I have is when it's a browser game, you don't see all this other stuff. You don't see the images or any of that. You just have the big browser window of the game. And I'm like, I don't really like that, but you know. So what's included in this? You get 3 quests: slay the rats, lizard folk, and skeletons. You have a turn-based attack system. You got NPCs. Player level up, so your HP goes up. You have NPC dialogues, barkeep, and other NPC. You have a shop for buy and sell. You got 3 different enemies. 3 biomes: town, which is the grassland, marsh, swamp, whatever you want to call it, and then the cave. There's a lot. I think we need to also say, right? So we'll come in here and we'll say, that's really bright. There, we'll do that on the, let's leave that. Let me edit it on this screen. So we have a turn-based attack system with light attack, heavy attack, defend, replenish stamina, and run away. So we'll put that in there. There. So now under here we have light attack, heavy attack, defend, which replenish stamina, and run away. The music I'm not super crazy on, but we're going to leave it, right? I don't know. I do have some music for the like that could be a tavern. Let me look. If we go to here, we go into audio. Oh, wait. Maybe I have it somewhere else. Oh, Mallory. It's going well. I have seen you on multiple streams. So, Mallory here is, let me just double check. It's yeah. Mallory is a bot partner account. So if any other streamers see Mallory, ignore it, right? It is a hacked partner account that it's been that way for a while, and it is just bots. Like, it's a bot, right? It's an automated account that when you go to it, it's been on rerun of some game where no one's even talking half the time of forever. It's just a continuous account, right? Anyways, we were looking for audio. So let me look here. Let's go into data. Let's go to all right. Medieval sound effects. Let's check out that. And we have ambience. So I may have something that could sound kind of like you're in a pub. I guess we'll let everyone else see what you think of it. Let's see. Tavern. It's really just voices. There's that one. It sounds more like too real. It's actual people, like voices, muffled, talking. I don't know. What do other, like, chat, what do you think of this? Like, do you like these sounds? Like, this one's not bad. It's mostly like sounds of like dishes and stuff. There's a little bit of like some violin playing or something. Muffled talks. Maybe we'll stick with that one. It's all right. Yeah, they're not great, but maybe we'll just add it so there is a little bit of sound in here. I mean, it definitely could be better, but you know, it's all right. Let's bring this in. We'll call it Sound Tavern. Yeah. Whoops, that is totally not in the place that I want it. So put it here for right now. Come down to resources. Let's put it into music. When how do I want to do that? I probably am going to want oh let me think of where do I have that? Is it in settings? Well, no. Settings just controls the volume slider. Close buttons. These are all my individual buttons. First stuff. Slider track, fill, quit button, close button. That's not it. And I don't have it here, huh? Where did I put that stuff? Object player. So proximity, chance, nearby enemies, player movement, footstep, audio that's here. So this is probably going to be the player, like where it ends. Region, this is all the footstep audio. So when you're walking in both outer world, like overworld map, in the tavern, in the cellar, you're going to hear footsteps about every other frame. So it matches when the footsteps, right? Draw. Room start. Let's do. Let's look for it. All right. We have audio place footsteps. Now, scribble, external sound. Yep. Old step, play sound, defense sound with the heavy attack, hurt. Current music, sound. Oh, I do have. All right. My music controller. Well, how am I going to do this? All right, so we have in tavern already there. In tavern is set to internal room. So we have room, if room, world map. If in town, it's this. If in marsh, it's this. Else, if room battle. We're going to try this. Else, if room equals room interior. Let's do target music equals in tavern. Oh, well, I do have, wait, I already have it right there. Oh, I have this up there. Leonardo Prime, is that person bad? You literally see them everywhere. You mean the one that I banned, that Maori? Yeah, so it's a partner account, but it is a bot account now, like hacked account. They come in, they say like one word, like one sentence to you, usually two. You'll never hear from them again. When you go to the page, it is a live 24-hour page of rerun, no live content, and they continually also do it on Discord and streams, right? So what happens is it comes into a stream, it will try to collect everybody that's on it. It will go, like, if you go live, it will eventually come into your stream for it. So it tracks who, like, people are and just tries to send everybody to their page. We're just waiting for Twitch to stop it because everyone, like, reports them. That is all. Benucci, you just made your first game Space Rock. Nice. You thought they were stalking you? No, they are just it's a hacked account or something. And now when you go there, like I said, it just has 24-hour reruns of some game, no talking or anything like that. And it will follow, like it tries to go through the discords and tries to DMs people, tries to come into streams, and then captures everybody that's in chat, and eventually tries to go to everybody that streams. And it's just sending people to their page. That's it. Yeah, so if you see the name Maori as a partner, that's who it is. And like I said, they've been reported multiple times. We're just waiting for Twitch to respond to it. But yes. Target music, sound, tavern. All right, let's stop the game and redo it. And let's see if this now works. Else, if room equals interior, target music equals sound tavern. I think that may or may not work. I don't think that's going to work. So I don't know what to do with it, right? And thank you for the follow. Panoosh, good to know you're just going to block them. Yeah, that's all, you know. Like I said, it's a hacked account, so just block it. All right. This works and doesn't work, right? So if Blood, Sweat, Pixels, thanks for coming in. Enjoying the stream, inspiring progress for a 3-month project to a novice in GameMaker. I'm also still pretty novice. I've only been doing this just under 2 years. I spent a lot of time trying to learn it, though. And like I said, I've been doing, I did my first real game was almost a year. Then I was like, you know what? I need to do smaller projects, learn some other stuff. So I started doing small 3-month projects. And so now we just finished today's the last day for this. And it was a 3-month RPG. Linear, thank you for being here. Be safe going to the store, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And now, after this, starting next week, I'm going to do a 3-month top-down shooter. Then we're going to revisit the RPG, I think, for 6 months. We're going to make version 2. It's going to be that much more in-depth. It'll be the same game. We're just going to keep expanding it. And then I don't know what we're going to do for the last 3 months of the year. So that's kind of how I'm looking to split up the rest of this year with it. There we are. Okay, so I have like 2 of these work and a couple of them don't. So the problem I'm running into is, what's up? A schmoop? What? Oh, you mean they're like a top-down shooter? You made Pong in 2 days. Shoot 'em up. Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be a top-down style shooter, right? You're going to have a character in the middle, kind of like, I think the idea is, ignore the T-bots. We were talking about those earlier. If you come back to my main itch page here, one of the first game jams I did was called Droid Shooter. It was a 48-hour game jam. the idea was pulse. And so I made a small top-down shooter in 48 hours. And it's going to be kind of similar to this, right? You have your little robot with a cannon on it. You're going to have waves of enemies. This little Game Jam one was only one level with like 6 enemies, but this is going to be different. So like you'll have a wave, and then you'll get to be able to pick new stats, new weapons, that kind of stuff, and you'll be able to customize and build your character up. And then it'll be another wave and another wave, right? That kind of fun stuff. And eventually maybe like generated rooms based on objects and stuff that I have and like designs. I don't know how that'll work, or I'll just make it dynamic and it'll be the same ones all the way up. Kelvar, good morning. Side scrolling or top down? Top down. Yeah, so it'll be a top down shooter. Kind of like this one. I think it will be the direction that we're going with it. All right, so the problem I have here, you'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right. Is it doesn't necessarily recognize the different areas of the room. Well, maybe. If target music equals this, right? But we need it to be if in town, target music is this, else is this. I think what we need is another if statement here. Just to try and get this to be up and running for this, because it's last minute. If in tavern, we'll do target music equals sound tavern. Close it. And maybe that's all it needs. Right? And we're going to turn this part off because it doesn't matter for that. It needs to have a couple components to it because it has to be, one, it's got to be interior rooms. Two, it has to be within the tavern zone. And then it'll play the sound. So we'll try it out here in a few moments. And who did that? Homeless, thank you for the Sophie treat. You want a treat, Sophie? Hey, you got to sit. Let's turn your camera up just a little bit. There you are. Good girl. All right. Let's start it and see what we can do with this, right? Let's see if that actually worked. As soon as OBS sees it. Nope, it didn't. All right, it doesn't like something. Oh, one too many. Oh, I did that. I see what I did. I see what I did. This. We're just going to make these individual. Let's see if it works. Still no. Am I missing something? Oh, I got to close it. No, I closed it. It's right there. If target music equals none. Okay. Is it because I took this out? Maybe we should just leave it in. And see what it does now. A little loud. All right. Not quite playing it right. So if it plays it, oh, is it because of this? Where do I have the pitch to? Loop. Target music. Pitch. Remember 0.3. Let's see what it sounds like. I'm going to turn this down just in case. It's acting like something. It doesn't like something. Oh. All right. If in room is equal to interior room, if in tavern, target music equals sound. Let's do else if underscore in cave. Oh, and I wonder if it was because I also messed this up. So we're going to take that out. Right. And we're going to put it back down here at the bottom. But we're going to say if in cave, let's do target music equals no one. All right, let's try it again. I'm going to lower this volume just in case it goes a little bonkers. I think we're better. So now you have ambiance music inside the tavern. And if you leave, you should still hear it here. But if you leave the tavern, yeah. All right. Let me lower the pitch again. What was it? Chat, anybody remember? Oh, 0.3. Let's see what that sounds like. There is a volume control in the settings. I think that's better. 0.3. You can still kind of hear your footsteps. Oh. Seraphia's name is on her head. We got to fix that. So I bet what I did was I forgot to make, yeah, I made the snap point at the bottom of the character. All right, let's start it again. There we are. Everybody's name's correct. Some people are just out wandering around. It's good stuff, right? I think it's a done game. At least for this challenge, right? So, what do we have? RPG. Let's update the itch page here. So, the RPG, what's included? 3 quests: slay the rats, lizard folk, skeletons. Turn-based attack system with a light attack, heavy attack, defend, which replenishes stamina, run away. NPCs. We have NPCs with dialogue. Player level goes up. We also have a shop where you can buy and sell. You have 3 different enemies. You have 3 biomes. We have a UI with journal, inventory, and I think using a backpack as the inventory, I think works pretty good, right? I was trying to get symbols that roughly equate to what they are. So a journal is like a notepad, inventory, and settings. Which is escape. Okay. I need one of my other pages here for a minute. Because there we are. And we'll make all that centered. We're sitting here updating the itch page. The only problem I have with the itch page, it's itch page in general. If I make it so that it's browser play, right? You'll lose all these images. I don't know why. But you do. So. All right, let's turn on some regular chiptune stuff here for a little bit. What else needs to be in it? So the RPG is a 3-month MPV product where the task of this was to learn new game skills, game coding skills. We're going to call it Final. The RPG 3-month. Okay, what else do we want in here? So left click, you interact with inventory items. Right click, use in inventory items. Pressing E is an action or select. Space advances conversations. Tab cycles through the conversations. I is for inventory. J is for journal. Escape settings. RPG, what's included? The NPCs, the names are equal to viewers from chat and friends. NPC dialogue, player level up. I think that's pretty good. All right, so this game was made in GameMaker. We have... It's not on here anymore. We're going to call it on the game, and we're going to say this is 12 days, 18 hours, and 22 minutes of game time. Basically dev time, right? So what is that? You have 12 times 24 plus 18. It's 306 hours. 306 hours, 22 minutes, 55. Right. That's perfect. There. So I am now going to make a Wiser Gibbon, how you doing? Sweet. Yes, it is the wrap up. We're trying to make it sound good on here, making sure I got all the stuff. Yesterday, I was able to add even more content, so it does, in fact, have all three of the quests active, running, and working. So we're good, right? Made in GameMaker. Total time, like I said, was 306 hours and 22 minutes on this. So we also need to make a executable for it. And I'd like making them downloads, but we're going to make it a browser game. Because that way it's just easier for people to play. Now, when you make it a browser game, the text isn't always the best. And, but it's all right. I tried working with it a little bit, so hopefully it'll be okay. Let's switch this to a upload project. Let's do this, and let's select it. There it goes. It's uploading now. We're going to do also, I'm going to make the download executable of it. And I think I can upload it with it. So that way both of them are going to be on the page. You'll be able to play it in the browser and download it if you want. Right? We're going to do upload file. I don't like that you lose this stuff, but I mean, it's just going to be the way it is, right? There. So we have an executable and we have an executable. Hopefully they work out okay. I guess we'll find out here in a minute. I'm going to save it and refresh it. That needs fixed. We'll just make it center. All right. Does it have the download somewhere? Right here. Yes. You can, in fact, download it at the bottom of the page. Do one more refresh here. There we are. That's it. I wish I wish in browser play it kept the images, because it makes the page look a little blank. But, you know. And that is it, folks, with the RPG game. For anyone that wants to play it, this is the link to it. It is up. You can play. If you have suggestions, please leave them. You can do whatever you want with it. Let me know. You can also come onto the Discord, join, and keep up with all the extra stuff. There is roles on the Discord, so make sure you're choosing the game development if that's what you're interested in. Jeepin, thank you for the bits. And that's it, right? The game is live. And now, starting next week, we'll be doing the top-down shooter for 3 months. Then after that, we have a 6-month period where I think we're going to, for all 6, we're going to return to this and see what we're able to come up with 6 months added to it, and come up with another version, like version 2 of the game. But that is it, folks. This is a good spot. We're going to go ahead and end and raid out into someone and see who is on. And then I will see everybody Saturday. Same digital time, same digital place. So 7 a.m. Mountain Time. And another project done. That's it. Let's see who's on today. All right. I think we're going to visit Poolbox, who is also a game dev and a really fun streamer to pay attention to. It'll be a good one to end today with. Like I said, I hope everybody has a great time. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. I will be back on Saturday, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. And today at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, Jeepin Annie there will have her cooking stream. So if you like food, that's a good one to go visit. But let's go ahead and say hi to Fullbox. I will see everybody later. Enjoy your day. Bye, folks.